John was a simple man. He worked hard. He loved his family. He believed in honesty. He believed in trust. John had built a good life. He had a wife, Sarah. They had 2 beautiful children. Life was good. John had spent his life savings on his children's education. He wanted them to have a better life. It started with a phone call, a friendly voice, a promise of financial security, high returns, low risk. The voice was convincing. The voice belonged to Mark. Mark was persuasive. He gained John's trust. Mark promised to double John's money. John made the first investment. He saw a small return, just as Mark promised. His confidence grew. He invested more. He started dreaming of early retirement. He told Sarah about the investment. She was hesitant. She asked him to be careful. John reassured her. He trusted Mark. He liquidated his savings. He even took out a loan. He poured everything into the investment. He was so close to his goal, he could almost taste it. Then the calls stopped. Mark disappeared. The website vanished. John's online account was empty. John was in shock. He couldn't believe he had fallen for it. He had been scammed. He had lost everything. His life savings, his children's education fund, their retirement dreams, gone. He had to tell Sarah. He had to face his children. The shame was unbearable. The weight of the world fell on John's shoulders. The news hit Sarah hard. The fight drained from her eyes. The children were devastated. Their dreams were shattered. John blamed himself. He had been foolish. He had been greedy. He had destroyed everything. The once vibrant and happy home was now shrouded in silence. Meals were eaten in silence. Conversations were strained. The joy had vanished. John withdrew from his family. He couldn't bear to look them in the eye. He couldn't face their disappointment. He couldn't escape the guilt. He couldn't escape the shame. Sleep evaded him. Food tasted like ash. The world seemed to be closing in. He had failed. He had failed his family. He had failed himself. John's world crumbled around him. He lost his appetite. He couldn't sleep. He was constantly plagued by anxiety. He couldn't focus at work. He was let go. His health deteriorated. The doctor diagnosed him with severe depression. Sarah tried to hold the family together. She found a part-time job. She tried to talk to John, but he wouldn't listen. He was consumed by guilt. He was drowning in shame. The children retreated into themselves. Their grades plummeted. Their laughter ceased. The once happy home was now a place of sorrow. John's story is not unique. It's a story repeated countless times. Financial scams prey on the elderly. They prey on the vulnerable. They prey on our trust. They leave behind a trail of devastation. Beyond financial ruin, the emotional toll of financial scams runs deep. It extends far beyond monetary loss. Victims are left with a profound sense of betrayal. Betrayal of trust. Betrayal of hope. The psychological manipulation leaves lasting scars. Victims often blame themselves. They feel foolish. They feel ashamed. They withdraw from loved ones. They suffer in silence. The emotional distress can manifest in various ways. Depression, anxiety, loss of sleep, loss of appetite, even suicidal thoughts. Families are torn apart. Relationships are strained. The fabric of trust is shattered. The impact of financial scams is far-reaching. It affects not just the victim, but their entire support system. John's story is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of financial scams. But there is hope. There is a way back. The first step is to break the silence. Talk about it. Share your story. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out to loved ones. Seek professional help. There are resources available. Organizations dedicated to helping victims of scams. Therapists specializing in trauma and financial abuse. Remember, you are not alone. It's not your fault. You are a victim of a crime. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's the first step towards healing. We must protect ourselves and our loved ones. Education is key. Learn about common scams. Be wary of unsolicited offers. Be suspicious of high returns and low risks. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Never give out personal information over the phone or online. Verify the legitimacy of any investment opportunity. Talk to a financial advisor. Report any suspicious activity to the authorities. We must be vigilant. We must be informed. We must protect ourselves and our communities from these predators. Financial scams are more than just financial crimes. They are deeply personal attacks. They shatter lives. They destroy families. We must approach victims with empathy and understanding. We must offer support. We must offer resources. We must offer hope. Let's work together to raise awareness. Let's work together to prevent these tragedies. Let's work together to support victims and their families. Let's rebuild lives shattered by financial scams. This story teaches us the importance of vigilance and the devastating impact of scams. It reminds us to protect our loved ones and to seek help when needed. Empathy and support can help victims rebuild their lives. As we move forward, let us carry these lessons with us. Let us become advocates for awareness and protectors of the vulnerable. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can ensure that no one has to face the aftermath of a scam alone. Let's be vigilant. Let's be supportive. Let's be the change we wish to see in the world.